Jeff Superscript is brought to you by Black Cat Comics and Collectibles, in my opinion, the best comic shop and clubhouse on the internet. Make sure to follow them at Black Cat Burbank on Instagram and ask them about their Stray Cats Club for special perks. Hi, I'm Jeff, and welcome to another one of my videos where I take a look at all the new comic books coming out on either August 24th or 25th, 2021, and I ask myself the question, what one new comic book would I buy this week if I could buy just one book? Now, I usually start out these videos by taking a look back at my pick from 2 weeks ago, but I'm not going to do that this week. I actually am way behind on my comic books. I'm hoping to catch up on them this weekend. So I will go ahead and I'll talk about that book in next week's video. In addition, in last week's video, I did something a little different where none of the books that I talked about were ones that I planned on purchasing. And so I made a recommendation for a book that I think you might consider buying if you might consider to buy just one book. I'm going to do the same thing again this week. This summer is not really bringing lots of books that are grabbing my attention, that are must-haves as far as I am concerned personally, but that's just me and my personal tastes. I still think that there are some interesting books out there, so I still feel like I can keep making these videos and that I can keep making recommendations for stuff that you might be interested in. I will tell you what I am buying this week. I am buying Thor number 16, which you all know I'm a big fan of if you've been watching these videos. I'm also buying Spider-Man Life Story Annual number 1 by Chip Zdarsky. I would only recommend this to people that have been interested or have read the Spider-Man Life Story miniseries that came out about a year or so ago. I'm picking up Emo Mom, Mother of Madness, issue number 2. I don't exactly know why. I'm just kind of sticking with it, hoping that it is better than issue number 1 was. I'm also picking up The Department of Truth, issue number 12, because you all know I'm a big fan of James Tynion IV, and that I'm a big fan of The Department of Truth. And then finally, I'm also picking up Something is Killing the Children, issue number 19, also because I'm a big fan of James Tynion IV, and because Something is Killing the Children is my favorite comic book out right now. So yes, if I was going to buy just one book this week, it would be Something is Killing the Children, issue number 19. But I recommend Something is Killing the Children just on the basis of being Something is Killing the Children often enough. Once again, I'm going to focus this week on books that I would recommend for you to consider. If you have been watching my videos, you've considered these books already and you took a pass, or you considered them and you're now buying them. But this week's list are books that I would consider for you to buy if you were looking to buy maybe just one additional book this week. Ah, boy, I'm doing my best here, folks. Stick with me, and let's go ahead and start the list here with my first honorable mention. There'll be 5 of them, and then we'll have my pick for you for the week. First book I want to mention is Echolands, issue number 1 from Image Comics. Here's the description. It's kind of long. I'm going to move through it as quickly as possible. A major Image Comics 2021 event. The story of Earth's last war starts with Hope's sticky fingers. The multiple award-winning Batwoman team, J.H. Williams III and W. Hayden Blackman, reunite for an all-new ongoing series. They're joined once again by Colorist Supreme Dave Stewart and Master Letterer Todd Klein. In a bizarre future world that has forgotten its history, a reckless thief, Hope Red Hood, holds the key to excavating its dark, strange past. If only she and her crew can escape a tyrannical wizard and his unstoppable daughter. But fate will send them all on a path leading to a war between worlds. Echolands is a landscape format mythic fiction epic where anything is possible, a fast-paced genre mashup adventure that combines everything from horror movie vampires to classic mobsters and cyborg elves to Roman demigods and retro rocket ships. It's going to be a hell of a ride. Each issue of the series will offer a raw cut edition featuring the art from J.H. Williams III as it looked leaving his work studio. All right, it sounds interesting, it sounds kind of over the top, and it's in a landscape format, which is cool, but awkward. You ever try to read a book that way? It's really, really odd. So, I can appreciate that they're going for something here. It could be entertaining, it could be exciting, it could be something for you. The next book I want to mention to you is Ice Cream Man, issue number 25 from Image Comics. Here's the description. Celebrating our 25th anniversary issue with a special bonus story. It's the perfect jumping on point to the book CBR called Image's Most Unpredictable Horror Series. Good afternoon, folks. This is your captain speaking. I'd like to welcome everyone aboard ICM Flight 25. We're currently cruising at an altitude of 33,000 feet at an airspeed of about 400 miles per hour. The time is 1:25 p.m. The weather looks pretty good, and with the tailwind on our side, we're expecting to violently nosedive into the ground approximately 15 minutes ahead of schedule. All right, well, that's a fun little description right there. And Ice Cream Man is a fun little book. I haven't been reading Ice Cream Man, but I read every issue of Ha Ha, and I could see what people like about them. They're fun, weird stories that kind of like skew reality a little bit and oftentimes make you think and feel. So I can really appreciate what W. Maxwell Prince is doing with this book. And I would say that if you are interested in a horror anthology and you've been looking for an opportunity to jump on Ice Cream Man, I would recommend doing it this week with issue number 25. The next book I want to mention to you is United States of Captain America, issue number 3 of the 5-issue limited series from Marvel Comics. Here's the description. The shield thief targets a cultural landmark in Kansas, hoping to put a permanent stain on Captain America's image. Sam and Steve are hot on his trail, and aided by Joe Gomez, the Kickapoo tribe's own Captain America. But there's more to the thief's agenda than meets the eye. Are the 3 Caps headed straight into a trap? And do they have any other choice? Okay, so we've been talking about this book every time a new one has come out, and you know why. We keep getting these new regional Captain Americas. So who knows what is going to happen with these Captain Americas moving forward. What's interesting to me about this one is that this Captain America is a Native Indian or a Native American. There's a lot of different terms. But I'd even heard that Native Indian was preferred because they didn't like the term America being used to refer to them as a group, because America in general was kind of their downfall in a lot of ways and have forced them into a living situation that wasn't really great, and maybe still isn't. So it's interesting to me to have a Native Indian Captain America. I wonder if they're going to talk about that. Like, what does that mean for the Kickapoo tribes, Captain America? What does that mean to wear the red, white, and blue as a Native American or Native Indian or whichever, if you're among those groups, whichever one you prefer. Let me know down in the comments if you are a Native American or a Native Indian, which one of those 2 terms you prefer. But regardless, I think this is an interesting one. I also think that it could be interesting story-wise and from a character perspective, or it's just totally off base and totally missing the mark and totally doesn't get it. So regardless, there's a new character in here that's wearing the red, white, and blue of Captain America. There's always the potential that we might see more of that character down the line. The next book I want to mention to you is a new book. It is called Winter Guard, issue number 1 of a 4-issue limited series from Marvel Comics. Here's the description. Winter comes for the White Widow and the Red Guardian. Russia is cleaning house, and when the Red Guardian starts hunting down state secrets, he puts himself right back in his home country's crosshairs, dragging the White Widow along with him. But the motherland has new heroes now, and not even the Red Room could have prepared Alexei and Yelena for the Winter Guard's retribution. Bold twist and bombastic action abound as Jason Aaron's Winter Guard tracks down 2 of Russia's dirtiest secrets. Don't miss the chills and thrills of Ryan Cady and Jan Bazulda's new epic thriller. Okay, so the reason I have this on the list this week is because, Black Widow is the most recent MCU movie. I saw it, I enjoyed it, and now we're getting characters, the White Widow and Red Guardian featured in that movie in a book working together. If you enjoyed the movie, you might enjoy picking up this book. If you like those characters, you might want to read more about them in comic books. It's not an easy sell, but to me it's something that you might consider this week if you're a big fan of the MCU and you really enjoyed Black Widow. The next book I'm going to mention to you is a new book called Superman 78, issue number 1 of a 6-issue limited series from DC. Here's the description. Fly into director Richard Donner's Superman once more in Superman 78. Written by Robert Venditti and drawn by Wilfredo Torres, Superman 78 tells a brand new adventure in the world of the beloved film. A bright, shining day in Metropolis is interrupted by a mysterious drone that crash lands in the city and starts wreaking havoc. This looks like a job for Superman. But where did the metallic menace come from? What is its purpose? And who is Brainiac? Okay, so this one is a lot of fun to me. When I was a kid, before Batman 89 came out, you basically had one superhero movie franchise to go to, and that was this Superman franchise, this Christopher Reeves Superman franchise. The first movie's really good, the second movie is fantastic. The third, fourth, and I think fifth ones kind of dropped off, but you know what? I still watched those movies as a kid, and I loved them. It wasn't until 89 when we got Batman, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, now we have a Batman and a Superman movie. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. And we had that for a long time. What you don't realize is that right now we're living in a comic book movie, renaissance of sorts. There's so much good comic book content on the television and on the movie screen. It's easy to forget there was a time when basically all you had was this Superman. So this Superman is exciting. I'm glad that they're doing this comic book. It sounds like fun for anybody of my generation in particular. This might be of particular interest. I really almost picked this up for the entertainment value, and I'm not inclined to pick up anything Superman right now. I said no because I'm really trying to say no to as much as possible, but this was a tough one to say no to. So if you're into some retro fun, or if you're looking for a cool Superman story, I'll also mention that Batman 89 has improved a little bit on the secondary market because they're like the first appearance of Robin. Although Robin has appeared in comic books before as a character, maybe it's the first appearance of this Robin from the Tim Burton Batman universe, so maybe that's where the spec is coming from. I'm not 100% sure. If that is where the spec is coming from, the fact that Brainiac is going to be appearing in this kind of Christopher Reeves world, it'll be the first appearance of Brainiac in the Christopher Reeves world of Superman. So it might be worth picking up for a couple different reasons, something to consider. All right, those are my honorable mentions. Now let's move on to the book that I would recommend for you to buy if you could buy just one book this week, and it's not Thor, Something is Killing the Children, Department of Truth, or Spider-Man Life Story Annual Number 1. The book that I would recommend for you this week would be King Spawn, issue number 1. This is from Image Comics. Here's the description. A historical new ongoing Spawn series begins. The launch of this book, nearly 3 decades in the making, further expands the Spawn universe with a growing presence of hell, heaven, and heroes here on Earth. A classic villain from Spawn's past has begun asserting his powers on Earth by corrupting as many souls as possible, and only Spawn knows that he even exists. Continuing the dramatic battles from Spawn's Universe number 1, this is where it all begins. Don't miss out. The last time a new ongoing Spawn series launched was in 1992. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm going to admit to you, Spawn is not necessarily my thing. I'm not a big Spawn guy. Nothing against Spawn. It's just a character that I never really latched onto. But there are some people out there who Spawn is like their everything. Spawn is their favorite character. Spawn is what got them into comic books. And there is a reason that Spawn is over 300 issues right now and going strong. It's because people like Spawn. And there's a reason why we're getting, I believe it's 3 new Spawn titles coming out, because people really like Spawn. So the fact that now in 2021 we are getting a new Spawn title after it's been since 1992 that we've had the last one, I mean, that's got to be very exciting for Spawn fans. So I'm super excited for all of you if you're a big Spawn fan. You know, it's Spawn is cool. And Spawn is not going anywhere. Like, not only, once again, are we seeing more of it in comic books, but they've been talking about a new Spawn movie coming out for a long time. I think it's inevitable that Spawn is here, firmly established, and here to stay. So, if you haven't been a Spawn fan, but you've always been curious about Spawn, this is, I think, a fantastic time to start collecting a Spawn book. And if you're a hardcore Spawn fan, well, congratulations. You're getting more Spawn this week with this book. So the fact that that Spawn is kind of a legend, you know, and it's kind of significant that there is a new Spawn book coming out, that is why, if I would recommend for you to buy just one book this week, I would recommend King Spawn, issue number 1 from Image Comics. All right, that's my list. I'm going to admit, not my best. Not my best. I prefer to be talking about books that I am super pumped about. That I'm like, I personally can't wait to get these books in my hands. But the summer has been lackluster, and I'm really looking forward to that turning around. Looking ahead, I know there are some books coming up that I'm excited about. I just don't know if it's coming anytime soon. So thank you for sticking with me and still watching these videos, even though I'm not even stoked about them myself. But thank you so much. If you appreciate the fact that I'm sticking with it, likes are appreciated by me, so just go ahead and hit the like button. In addition, if you haven't subscribed and somehow this video makes you inclined to subscribe, wow, thank you so much. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. But make sure you hit that notification bell, because I have just test your comic book grading skills videos that are coming out that I think you're going to want to not miss. Okay, thank you all so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate you. I'll see you in the next one.